Peace, y'all. This is G1.
This is Rod Stars.
Together, we are Rebel Diaz.
And we coming at you live from Chicago with another episode of And You Don't Stop.
In this week's episode, we have Claudia talking to Karen Lewis, the president of the Chicago Teachers Union. Rod Stars hits the streets to talk to people about schools, not prisons. And we get to hear from Saba, representing Chicago's Pivot Gang on Rooftop Live.
For us, the Chicago Teachers Union holds a special place in our hearts. In 2012, we were so inspired by the strike that we came up with a song. It went a little something like this. Homie, I was taught by a Chicago teacher, Chicago teacher. Let's check out El Reporte, where Claudia talks to Karen Lewis.
We are here in Chicago, and we are honored with the presence of Karen Lewis, former Chicago teacher, president of the Chicago Teachers Union, and the leader of the Chicago Teachers Strike of 2012, an inspirational movement that was known internationally. Welcome, Karen.
Thanks for having me.
I'm very, very happy to be here. It's an honor to share this space with you. What was gained from the 2012 strike?
What the strike did was to say, one, we have something to say. We have alternatives. And we also know that if we don't advocate for children, nobody else will, even though they claim they are. What they're advocating is a transfer of assets from the public to private hands. And the second thing is, I think that it revived the labor movement, quite frankly, to a point where people are starting to see other people, not just somebody that's a talking head on television, but this whole notion of tens of thousands of people in the street willing to go to the mat for what they believe in. You have to understand, we were told this will be the end of the labor movement if you do this. This will be the worst thing that's happened. And what's happened is the absolute opposite. What we saw was coming together in buildings where people that hadn't talked to each other for years were starting to talk to each other and have conversations about how we can solve problems. It's also about problem-solving piece. But what also came out of that was that the Board of Education, of course, wanted to be more forceful and put us back in our place. So there have been a lot of people that have felt that we worked so hard and we did this and they're being punished for having spoken out. So there are all these different ways and all these different feelings about what the strike accomplished. But what it did was draw attention to things that have been underground and been done without transparency, without any kind of democracy, and the fact that a union could come together that had been so fractured and had been so problematic and so dormant for so long.
Recently, you referred to Mayor Emanuel as a murder mayor. Why murder mayor?
He shut down mental health care clinics under the guise of saving money. And one of the problems that really people don't understand, that mental health is such a precious, precious commodity, especially in neighborhoods that have been neglected and have been ignored, and we've had hardly any development in for a very long time. And to get poor people of color into mental health care facility is already a heavy lift when there's so much stigma placed around that. So to close down mental health clinics, to close down libraries, then to close down schools, it just hit me that this man was murdering jobs. These are jobs that are middle-class jobs that people spend their money in the city to drive the economy. It seems like they're just so short-sighted. So I felt like closing schools, and especially schools in Black and brown neighborhoods that are named after people that are significant, you have wiped that persona off the face of the. There's no more Arna Bontemps. There are a lot of people who have no idea who that is. So you are murdering culture when you do these things. So I thought, you're murdering jobs, you're murdering schools, and we have a murder rate that's sort of out of control right now that is impacting us in a way that's never been talked about before. So I don't know, that just came from this kind of notion of, because to me murder is intentional, and these were intentional acts. It's not like something happened and it was a problem. This was an intentional act. And that's exactly where that came from.
Well, Karen Lewis be the next mayor of Chicago?
That will depend on the people of Chicago. I believe in a participatory democracy, and I believe in the decisions that people make once they're informed. If they're informed, they usually make really good decisions. But if they're fooled and bamboozled and press released and done this and manipulated, then they make other decisions. And I think people have had enough of this guy, so.
Today, what we're doing is we're bringing hashtags from social media and bringing them to real life. The hashtag that we're talking about today is schools, not prisons. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, it's obvious. I mean, schools are for young people developing our future, and prisons are what society deems as a failure of those young people. And when you invest in the failure of the young people, it's kind of defeats the point of what are we doing in society. I mean, if society is only investing in the destruction of that same society, we're not growing.
Too many prisons, not enough schools, not enough mental health facilities. You know, they just want to institutionalize our people. We need to educate our people.
If there's more schools or more put in the education system, we'll probably need less prisons.
Then kids could learn more, and they can have more to keep, and they can make new friends. Because prison is a bad place. It's scary.
It's no programs for, for them to sit up there and have, educate their minds, stimulate them. And if they can't do that, man, what else could they do? They're gonna fall to something else that they feel, they feel love or, some togetherness.
Any education system should be funded more than a prison system. And if a prison system is funded so heavily, then something is wrong in the country. In general, and in the US, too many people are sitting in the prison, really. Maybe it's due to a wrong jurisdiction as well.
For the amount of funding it takes to get one prisoner for I think a year of school can get like 20 kids into a decent school. So I feel like there just needs to be a better distribution of it, especially towards schools.
Yes, y'all. D. Warren here with another edition of Rooftop Live. We are in the heights of the Chi City. We are here with the brother Saba representing Pivot Gang, as well as the brother DJ Damage. You know what I'm saying? Rocking it on the ones and twos. To our global audience, tell the people who is Saba and what is Pivot Gang?
Well, Saba is obviously me. Pivot is like an expression of some positive stuff. Like, we are from like the west side of Chicago, but Pivot to us was one step at a time. So that's where it came from, and now it's just cool to see that, everything's kind of starting to take place and like kind of do something.
Absolutely. Now, you recently just dropped your joint Comfort Zone, your record to critical acclaim. I know you produced some of it as well. Tell us a little about the music involved in that.
I kind of like started like thinking and like developing like the idea of Comfort Zone when I was like 16. But when I was 16, I knew like what I wanted to sound like, and I knew I didn't have the access to make it sound like that. So it's like towards when I got like 18 and 19, I started meeting these like jazz musicians and like people who can like play, and like I started like learning, like I was like teaching myself piano and everything. Like, I'm a rapper, I'm supposed to rap. That's cool. But the musicality is what I really want to focus on with Comfort Zone. It's nice to see, the reactions that people are having to it.
Absolutely. Now, Damage, tell me a little bit about you. I've seen you rock a few times with Saba. I like the fact that you're involved in the performance. You're not just, back there spinning. I see you on the mic. I see you on the ones and twos. Tell us about what your experience has been rocking with Saba, rocking with Pivot Gang, and being a part of this movement.
It's been great. Shows very energetic. We don't like to turn down any calm. We just like to get the crowd going and just have a great time. That's all we look forward to, is just having a great time everywhere we go.
My granddad adamant about Adam and Evil. After the show in the back, it's a cat stacks dying to meet you. I wanna rap with the Beatles. I just wanna rap like the Beatles. On the road to success, called a detour. Picture me touring in England. I got stranded in Inglewood outside of this chick house. And since then, I ain't never really been south. Bench press, bird, chest, nerd, kiss ass, your distance. From the rest of the world, it's hardly normal. Only party formal. I'm on mute with no remote, so I don't talk much. And the land is lawless like they theme music on cassette. Yellow tape say caution, carcass, I owe her. Lie to it though, seen a guy on a bus ride, he'll probably die doing dope. Seen a group of girls and they were calling on the Lord. Like maybe with you. And Armageddon, I'ma be a nigga with a sword. Like Maze Windu, Bullet Windu, Day Windu. Like that was a close call, so what if it's your fault? Don't let them catch you sleeping, doze off.
Hey universe, don't come at me with your bullshit. Your nonsense, your issues, can't handle it. These problems keep me up at night. But it ain't even major problems and everybody got some right. Shut up, don't nobody wanna hear that. Shut up, don't nobody wanna hear that. I'm out of here, I'm burned up.
Roll the windows down there.